Hello, what's up guys, I'm Kyle from KGR, and welcome back to Ask Me Mondays, the very inconsistent series where it's a Q&A. You guys ask me questions in the comments, and I get to them whenever I feel like doing another one of these. The last one I did was about, 4 months ago? Oh man, holy crap, that was a long time. Anyway guys, it's been a long time since I've done one of these videos, so it's about time I finally start picking this thing up again. Remember last time I said I was going to bring it back? I only did one, and then I stopped it for I don't know how long again. So I'm not going to make it official saying, oh, the series is back. Whenever I feel like doing some of these, I'll do it again. But I guess I'm just going to go over the last Ask Me Mondays questions and go over a few of them. If I went over all of them, it would probably take me like a half an hour to do this video. And plus, some of the questions are kind of outdated because some of them are asking me like, how do I feel about this game or that game or something like that, and they already came out and stuff, so there's almost no point in doing it. Or how do I feel about this subject, but it's already too late and other stuff like that, you know? So anyway, let's get into the questions. If the world ended, what way do you think it would end? This is a very controversial topic, so I hope YouTube doesn't destroy my ad revenue. No, they already did. It's actually pretty fucking sad. A lot of people want to point at global warming, at melting ice caps, and eventually flooding the world. I can understand that. I'm no scientist, so I don't really have much of an educated guess. But the two guesses I would probably do would be either the world being so polluted that it just harms us to breathe it and we'll just get cancer immediately, or what I feel to also be a very viable option, another ice age. These past few years, I noticed that the summers weren't too brutal. I don't know if it was because I dropped the weight, so I'm not exhausted all the time anymore. We had a few heat waves here in Pennsylvania, but it wasn't too unbearable. Like, this is what you see. Like, you see black V-neck, and I wear skinny jeans every day. I have like 15 of these guys. But anyway, like, it has been hot a few times, but most of the time, even I'm wearing a beanie this summer because I'm fucking stupid, but I'm normally fine in this outfit. I don't sweat all that much. So again, I don't know if it's because it's naturally getting cooler, because again, it's summer, it does get hot sometimes, but it hasn't been unbearable. The winters, on the other hand, they are freaking harsh. So I honestly think one day we're probably gonna have another ice age. If there's any scientists out there, then if you could back me up, it's pretty freaking solid, but it's probably not gonna happen. So let's move on to the next question. If you were forced to read every DC and Marvel comic, do you think you would like comics more or hate them more? I'm gonna answer it quick. I'd probably hate it more because I'm not a fan of reading, but I'm gonna get more into it for those who are actually into reading. Reading comics is so much more different than reading manga. With manga, you do have a set story and you just keep up with the volumes and stuff. With comics, on the other hand, you have so many different universes to go through. You can have one universe where Spider-Man dies, and another universe where he's just fine, and then another one where you have Miles Morales, so you have a black Spider-Man, or you have Spider-Gwen. And then you have that with multiple heroes. So there is way too much to catch up on. But just like manga, you can read the comics and you get a lot more details about the characters and the story itself that suppose a movie or a TV show or an anime won't get exactly right, or just skip out on a bunch of details. Like, let's look at Naruto by itself, okay? With the manga, you have a lot of volumes, a lot of characters, a lot of story. Anime, again, same thing, but you also have a bunch of filler episodes. But it's probably missing out on stuff that the manga covers, but the anime doesn't. I wouldn't know this by heart because I don't read manga at all, so I'm just assuming. But the video games, on the other hand, first up, somehow the video games still have filler, what the fuck. But more importantly, the video games leave out a bunch of details that, like, it's in anime or in manga, but not in the actual game. Like, for example, the Raikage loses his arms, Deidara loses both of his arms. My point, the comic/manga is the source material, but it has a lot more detail. And look at Attack on Titan, you could be reading a manga, you could be years ahead of what the anime will ever be. But the way I choose to take on my comic/anime type of deal is with anime, I choose English dub because sure, the voice acting is better on the Japanese side, but I don't want to be reading the whole time. If I want to read, I'll just fucking read the manga. And when it comes to my superhero stuff, I'd rather watch it as a movie or a TV show. I absolutely love Flash and Arrow. But for those who read it all, more power to you, and I honestly respect you more for that. Have you reconsidered getting the Breath of the Wild Nendoroid after playing Breath of the Wild? I hope it's in the shot because this camera is a little bit zoomed in. so I need another lens. But I do have the Breath of the Wild Nendoroid up there now, so yes, I have gotten it, but I haven't played with it enough for me to actually do a review on it yet. I still gotta do a review on the Bring Art Sora first, and plus I got a few other videos I want to record before I do reviews again. But yeah, I have gotten it, and it's alright. I know you like Pink Floyd, but what else do you listen to? I replied to his comment and I said it was mostly like Metallica, Ozzy, pretty much 80s stuff. But recently I've been listening to a lot of Metallica and punk. My favorite type of punk is honestly the punk goes pop albums, or mainly punk covers as a whole. And speaking of punk, what do you think of Sonic Forces? I'm just gonna get this away right now. The theme for Infinite, like, that is the kind of music I like to listen to. It brings me back to, like, Sonic Adventure 2 or Sonic 06, where they had amazing soundtracks. But anyway, when it comes to the gameplay and story and stuff, I'm excited to see how the story is this time. Like, we have the same writers from the last few games, and honestly, that doesn't give me too much confidence. But I'm hoping that they actually do more of an edgier story, because they haven't done anything like that in a while. The gameplay, on the other hand, I'm happy that it's pretty much Generations 2, but we are getting a third character, and I don't know how to feel about that yet. I'm kind of concerned about how it's going to play, but I'm also mainly concerned with the fact that we may be getting less modern Sonic levels, and those are my favorite types of gameplay as of right now. Honestly, I wish we had more of a Sonic Adventure-esque type of game again, but that's not happening again anytime soon, unfortunately. So if I want regular 3D platforming, I guess I gotta stick with Mario Odyssey, I guess. 3 questions: favorite Mario figure, favorite Sonic figure, and favorite plush. When it comes to favorite Mario figure, I do have the SH Figuarts Mario, and it's by far the best Mario figure out there for now. But my favorite one would probably be the Toy Biz Mario 64 Mario. I had that figure when I was a kid, but I don't have it anymore, so I do want to get it again one day. But right now, it's going for like $50 to $65, so I don't plan on getting it anytime soon. But the reason why I love that figure so much is not only the fact that it's a posable action figure Mario with a Mario Kart, but I love the way it's sculpted. The way the look is, it just screams N64 Mario. N64 Mario, at least that artwork that you would see in like box arts or promotional items, that is my absolute favorite art design of Mario. It's kind of how I feel about Pokemon with the first 2 generations, how all of the artwork for Pokemon was all watercolors. It's just that era, it's nostalgic. If they still did that now, I probably wouldn't like it all that much, because like with Gen 4, when I saw the original promo art of that, it was just regular colors and stuff, and I still loved it. But again, the first 2 generations of Pokemon, like, something about the watercolors, it just fits right. Anyway, let's keep moving on. When it comes to my favorite Sonic figure, I do have the fan favorites. I have the Resource, I have the Joyride, and I have the Nendoroid. Out of those 3, the Nendoroid is the best figure, but I think the one that I love to play with the most would probably be the 3.75-inch Jazzware Sonic. At least the earlier ones. Later down the line, the quality control turned into absolute shit, especially when Sonic Generations came out. But before the whole Generations line, like before the 20th anniversary, here the production value on it was actually pretty solid. The articulation was really great, the hinges were good, the paint job was immaculate as well. Overall, it was one of the best looking and best playable Sonic action figures I've had in a very long time. And the fact that that line like just completely spread it out and tried to cover as many characters as it can, that excited me as well, because I didn't have many Sonic figures back then, at least character-wise. I had Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, Eggman, that's probably about it. And maybe Amy, and eventually Big. Gotta love Big. But anyway, like, the 3-inch line is one of my favorite lines. I have every character. I don't have every figure, like I don't have every variant, but I do have every character in the line. I even have the full Sonic Riders set. Especially Knuckles. Knuckles is apparently like the most valuable one out of that whole set. And I remember when I was trying to get him, he was still a pain in the ass to get, and he was going for a lot of money. But somehow I found him for a stupid ass price, and I managed to get it, and I was so happy. But I do need a new Sonic though, because the neck on that thing just snaps off so easily. But favorite plush? I can't say just one. It's more of a group of plushes, and those are my Crash Bandicoot ones. I have some small ones on the chain you can probably barely see, but those are like really small ones. They're about yay big, and it was a group of like 2 Crash Bandicoots, one from Crash 1, one from Crash 2. Coco, Cortex, Komodo, Mo, or Joe. I think it's Mo. Or is it Joe? I can't remember. I don't know. The fat one. I got those all at once at a birthday party, It was like a pool party, and I was so happy because it's Crash Bandicoot. But the ones that are more to my heart besides those are probably going to be my taller ones on my bed. Technically, I have 3, but only 2 of them are on my bed. There's 2 of them that are slightly bigger than the other one that I got. My mom got me those at Hershey Park. She spent so much money on one game specifically to get me those Crash plushes. I don't know why she really worked hard to get me 2 of them, but I have 2 of them. One is here and another one's at work as my little work buddy. And the other one that's a slightly smaller, here my dad got that for me out of a claw machine. Now here's the thing, my dad is not good at claw machines at all. That's more my brother's forte. But here, he only had $1. It was 50 cents a play. He was in the back corner, buried under a wolf. I'm like, son of a bitch. So, somehow, he managed to get the wolf to stand up. He didn't even try that. So he had a clear open shot for Crash, and he got it. I was screaming, flipping shit. First off, I flipped shit when I saw him. And I flipped even more shit when he got him. Like, guys, there's 3 things I love more than life itself. Food, sleep, and Crash Bandicoot. My last ex-girlfriend knew that. But anyway, I keep those plushes on my bed, not only for decoration purposes, but it's also a symbol, you know? When I was in high school, I was an absolute miserable kid. I guess it was hormones, I was just overall miserable, you know? However, I am never, ever letting go of those. Because those plushes alone are symbols of how much my parents love me. All the Crash figures I've gotten as a kid, unfortunately I broke all of them. But like a lot of things that I've gotten throughout my life, especially my toys, I kept on to a lot of my stuff. I had to throw a lot away because we had to split the room in half so my brother could have his own room. But anyway, unfortunately, like I hold on to everything and I'm kind of a hoarder now, I guess, I don't know. But my point, I'm a very sentimental person. Those plushes alone show how much my parents love me. Like my mom, she was there for everything. Like if I was into Pokemon, she learned about it so she would know who these characters are. She loved Psyduck. When I was younger, she knew that when I said I want Batmans, that I want waffles. Long story. But my dad, on the other hand, he would take me out. He would take me out to the flea market with my friend so we can get Annie Ann's pretzels, buy Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and walk around and have fun, and even go to the game stand that I now work at. And he would also take me out to car shows, pretty much try to get me involved in his world. Unfortunately, I never got into cars, but that bonding time that I had with my dad, like, it meant a lot, you know? And the way I'm explaining this, it makes it sound like that my parents are divorced. They're not. They're still together. So I guess I want to say, even though I'm not a rich kid at all, and there are plenty of people out there that have life better than me to an extent, like they have more money, they have a better place, yada yada yada, but I still feel absolutely lucky, like with the life I've had throughout my life. I had plenty of friends. Sure, people have come and gone. I never had to dealing with having Christmas at my mom's and then my dad's and other stuff like that. Like it was all together, and I had a loving family. Of course, I had brothers, and we'd get into fights every once in a while, but now we all get along just fine. Overall, life is good, and again, I go through rough patches sometimes, but overall, I still consider myself very lucky. I didn't mean to rant on like that. I'm so sorry. So I am going to do one more question and then I'm going to cut this video off. What is the most thing you're hyped about? Back when this question was released, it would have been, like, it's 4 months ago, so I would have said Crash Bandicoot. But the game has come out and I do love it, but there are flaws. Like, even though I love Crash Bandicoot to death, I'm not going to let my nostalgia boner and my overall just regular boner for Crash Bandicoot to distract me of what is wrong with the game. There are plenty of things wrong with the game, but I'd still give it like an 8 out of 10. So now, there's not too much I can be hyped for. Like, I'm excited for Sonic Forces and Mario Odyssey. But other than that, and Kingdom Hearts 3. But besides games, I don't know. The thing I'm most hyped to see is honestly to see where my channel goes. My channel has plenty of potential, probably. Like, some people see it. I don't know. I'm growing as a person. My equipment is always being upgraded. Life is always changing, you know? But that's pretty much it for this video. So if you're new and you like what you saw, you know what to do. But more importantly, if you got any questions, let me know in the comments. And I don't know when I'm going to do another Ask Me Mondays. It's probably not going to be an every week series. I would love to do it once a month. But it all depends on how my life flow goes, I guess. I don't know. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys so much to death. And I guess I'll see you on the next one.